In the corporate world, we normally communicate through emails, electronic mails. If something is not in writing, then it does not exist. There's no evidence that a transaction occurred. Or where an email is not provided, maybe someone has given you cash money, then you have to provide receipt in writing as evidence that you've received the money. Otherwise, you may be in trouble in future. So today's video is all about email etiquette, how you can be professional in the way you handle your communication with your customers or with your suppliers. Which are the tips we should follow? How do we write it? How do we communicate now that it is virtual and it is supposed to be used as evidence anywhere that a transaction between you and the third party occurred? So stay tuned and watch the video up to the end. Please subscribe, like, and share the content if you like it. Hey guys, and welcome back to this amazing channel. My name is Lady Jenster. In case you're new here, please join the family for some good content on matters relating to career, professional workplaces, the corporate world, and everything in between. I normally premiere on Wednesday at 1 p.m. and on Sunday at 4 p.m. You cannot afford to not subscribe and press the notification bell so that anytime I upload a new video, you get notified of the same. We grow together as individuals and even as career people. We are supposed to communicate to someone who we are not seeing each other, but they're supposed to get the message and give us feedback. So one of the tips that can help you deliver your message clearly is by having a subject that already, even before the recipient of your email gets to the content of the email, they are able to tell this is all about A, B, C, and D. At times, you find people sharing maybe a document, a copy of the birth certificate, or a copy of your ID or your KRA PIN. So you are sending it to maybe Safaricom customer care. Then you share it as an image. So when the reader gets that email, it will come as a photo from Jenster. It's very likely they are going to ignore the message. But suppose you just edit the title and say ID card. Someone will be keen to want to know the email is all about the ID card. So stop sending blind subjects or irrelevant subjects like a photo or attachment to what is that? So always get a clear subject that has summarized the content of your email so that it is easier for even you to trace it in the future. Because how will you trace something that was sent with the headline of scanned copy? How many scanned copies are you going to have in your inbox? So can you label your email subjects accordingly? On that note regarding the subject, some people will send one thread of email for different contents. Whenever they want to communicate something different, they pull the old email and reply there instead of creating a fresh email for every new idea or new subject they want to discuss. So it is advisable you don't send your emails as a thread every other time. And also, don't create many emails for one topic. Discuss that topic until it is over. Start a fresh email when you digress. So that if you need to know everything about, probably it's an account creation at the bank. The subject is bank account opening. From when you shared the documents, from when you shared the application form, what the banker told you, all that information is going to be in one thread. Otherwise, if you pull that thread of opening the account to the one that they sent you the loan statement, to the one they sent you the bank or M-Pesa transaction, it becomes hard. Remember, we are using email as evidence that a transaction occurred, so it should be easy to archive and to trace it in the future. Email is supposed to be short and precise, very direct to the message. This is a professional setting. It is Not about you wanting to know how everyone is doing unless you know them very well. That is when you find yourself, I trust this finds you well, or I hope you're okay. You should be able to tell the message and the one getting it understands. If there's any action point that you need the other person to do, communicate that. If there's a deadline, if your email is urgent, then you're supposed to bring all that information. If there are some attachments, then you notify them that please find them attached. You need them to acknowledge that they have received. Like, you need a real recipient. Let them know. If you don't need a response, let them know. If it's a follow-up of an email you had discussed previously, also communicate that. For the attachments, kindly always label your attachments. Maybe you are sending 6 documents. We have a copy of your practicing certificate. We have a copy of the directors. We have a copy of CR12. We have a copy of maybe articles of association for the company. We have maybe IDs of the directors. Then you've sent them as attachment 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And me as the recipient, I'm just interested in the CR12 or with the director's ID cards. So why should you give me the hassle of opening all the attachments, which some are irrelevant? And I might even end up missing out on others. Or maybe I need to just filter a few documents that are necessary and forward to someone else. So it's very good and professional to label your attachments based on what they're supposed to communicate. If it's an ID, if it's the birth certificate, label it so that it's easy for the sender. Again, on issue of attachments, always counter check your emails. Sometimes you may send your email saying find attached, but you've not attached anything. To avoid such hassle, you can put, if you use Outlook or Gmail, they have that feature where you say give a recall. Like, if you send a message within 30 seconds or a minute, you can be able to recall it back. When you realize I've sent but I've not attached, you can recall that message. Also, we have some auto predictors that when you say please find attached, they will prompt you if you said attached and there is no attachment. So check on your settings and put those things. Don't be in a rush to just receive an email and very fast respond. No, don't do that. Take your time. And also, on taking your time doesn't mean you respond to one email after 1 week. Respond promptly, respond in good time, so that if a matter needs to be closed, it is done, and the deal, everybody benefits through prompt communication. Don't delay your emails until people start sending you polite reminders. Let's talk about recipient management. Who needs to get your email? You may be sending an email intended for Jane, who works in the customer service department. So you're likely to copy the entire customer service department, but the message is only meant for me. Maybe it is something I've not done. So in that case, you don't have to copy the entire world unless it is something that is not personal. Do not be in a hurry to reply all. Check who needs to know, who do you need to remove. Is there someone who doesn't need to know the information you're sending? And if you're communicating to a group, let's say you are saying goodbye to your colleagues, and you send one email to the entire organization. As your colleagues are not supposed to respond to all, because not everybody in the company needs to receive the message I want to tell you as you leave the company. So inbox, just send to me alone. Don't put it in public. Also, or where we have condolences and you've lost someone, then people start saying, may she rest in peace, may he blah, 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 blah. Then you start copying the whole world. No. If you're sending one message, maybe to your juniors, and you're not expecting maybe me as Jane, it's the same information sent to Elias. but we're supposed to respond at an individual level. In that case, blind copy us so that we don't know. This is for all of us. If you would want someone to know a message, like you want your boss to know you've sent something, but you do not intend to know to inform the recipient that you've copied your boss, you can just blind copy them. So know who to CC, know who to BCC, know when to remove everyone and just respond to the recipient. It gets very annoying when a personalized message is displayed in the public. Whenever you are going out of the office, it is good to send an automatic message to your customers or people who you serve and let them know you are not in. Maybe you are proceeding on annual leave, you are on study leave, you are on exam leave. So tell them, I'll be proceeding for my annual leave. Well, that part is not necessary. Whatever the thing is, you depending on who it is, you may want to tell them, I'm going abroad, I'll have limited access to my emails from this day to this day. If you work in a big organization, then there's someone else who will step in for you. So you tell your customers or the suppliers or the intermediaries you are handling, from date 1 to date 14, I will not be in. However, in my absence, so and so will be taking charge. Please channel all inquiries to her. If you are a critical employee who might need to be consulted or who might need to do some approvals, you may say, I will be switching off my phone at work, but I'm reachable on mobile between these hours and these ones. So that you don't get interrupted when you are away, or you don't get overwhelmed with work because you didn't communicate. Also, if you don't send an out of office reply, someone may keep on sending messages and they're just wondering, how comes this person is not responding back to me? I've sent several reminders, they don't acknowledge. Why are they so ignorant? Are they not interested in business? So put an out of office reply and say whether if we can communicate to you for urgent matters or who do we consult in your absence. It will save you a lot of hassle, and people who are on the other end are able to know, can this wait for you or can I address it with someone else? Because things don't stop. We say in employment, especially in these big corporates, you are easily replaceable. So when you're out of office, you be out of office. Let someone else who is stepping in for you do the whole work. Don't even say that you are available. I say again, unless you are a critical employee who needs to do maybe approvals or there are things that can only be done by you. Otherwise, for the common wajikos, just put an out of office reply and go. If possible, even switch off your mobile phone and get a private one for use where you are out of office. Remember, you are always supposed to be professional. No matter how bad an email is, no matter how insulting or how disrespectful someone has decided to be on email, remain calm. If it's very agitating, you don't have to respond immediately. You can take your time until you cool down. You don't exchange on emails trying to prove how you know something or trying to defend yourself. No. Get to know, when do I pick up a phone? When do I call this person and explain it is not like this, it is not how you're interpreting it. I meant ABCD is what the intention of my email was all about. It is not what you're trying to say. Some people can be very ruthless. They feel like maybe this an admin assistant. Does she know I'm the director of this big organization? Why is she asking me for some of the requirements that I'm normally used to not being asked for? Because I expect when I say my name, people know I'm the only guy who drives the Bentley they see around this area. So I expect to get my things done very fast. If I send an email, then the other person should hold on to everything else and attend to me first, because I'm a first-class customer. So as the recipient on this end who wants to treat my customers fairly, I'll say first in, first out, regardless of your status. I'll explain this one came first, so they have to be served first. But some people are very arrogant. They'll say, if you can't deal with me, then deal with the manager. Can you give me the email of your CEO, or who is your boss? Of course, when someone starts asking you about who is your boss, they are trying to undermine you. And the third part is, most of these bosses won't do that job. Yes, they'll call him, they'll explain, he'll be given a priority, but it is still the junior employee you're trying to undermine who is going to do the job. So if you know such customers, you don't exchange with them an email. You can choose to be silent and action on whatever they want to be actioned on. And if you feel they are too much, you delegate to another person. Because at times, people are very rough on email. I don't know whether you've ever had someone you fear because, if they send you something, then they want it like now, 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 now. If you don't, they start sending polite reminder in bold, reminder 1 in red, reminder 2, capital, italic. Yeah, they are very scaring on emails. But you meet them in person, then you are like, is this the same person? So please learn when to pick the phone, get a clarification on something, learn when not to respond, learn how to control your emotions, because you may exchange with me when my mood is bad, and in future maybe that evidence will be needed in a court of law and you will be embarrassed by what you said. So can you do what is intended? Can you not fight, never insult, never get rude on email? Ishikilie tu kiwaru imeze, ama you tell someone directly on a phone conversation. And that one brings me to another point of maybe you needed that clarification and you call someone. Then you agree, this is the way forward, we are going to do this and this and this. Please, don't go ahead and action without acknowledging that it is as per your agreement on the phone. So if you agree on a particular course of action, when you come back to, if they don't give the instructions to you on email, then when responding to them, you're supposed to say, as per our phone conversation. If it's not documented, it does not exist. And huku nje watu hurukana. Anasema, who, me? How would I approve such a thing? You as the employee, you unawekwa kwa mataa siku ya kiyama ikifika. So always defend yourself. Document. Ama at times, hata mtu akuandikie karatasi, usign, uscan, umtumie, ama you just archive it somewhere for future reference. It is corporate world. Nobody wants to take care of any other person's interest. Everyone is looking at protecting their own. People are very selfish. Nobody would want to lose their job because they approved an overestimated budget so that they would get some money for kando. So, and because those who are approving will not do the donkey work, usijiake kwa mata. Be in it together, or at times even copy that person who has given you those instructions, and you clearly say they are the ones who've approved. Try to personalize your emails, and by that I mean let people know who are they dealing with. For example, I'm the marketing manager. As I send out my email, I should have a signature saying Lady Jane Star, marketing manager. So whoever receives that email will get to understand, okay, So I'm now dealing with the marketing manager. So she can even sort me on this and this one. Clearly, it is not marketing. I actually need a business development person, or I need a finance person. I think this does not only apply to the professional workplace or the corporate world, it also applies on an individual level. Let's say I'm sending a job application blindly. And some of us, we don't even put our emails like with our names like ladyjanester@gmail.com. You will find me calling myself Jenster1945 @gmail. So it will be hard for anyone who doesn't know Jenster to know. It's the same Mogurenganga. Okay. So this email and this person is the same. So put a signature at the bottom and write your full names. If you've been pursuing a master's, write your MSc. If you hold a BSc in something, write BSc. If you hold a honorary, if you are a PhD holder, write it down there. Or sometimes people even put like the founder, XYZ Foundation. Try to get a personalized signature that is just unique to yourself and can speak more about you on email. Even before someone gets to meet you in person, they already know, so she has been this and this and this. Or at times, maybe like the season we are in is Ramadan Kareem. Put your signature with that. Send it to your customers. They feel easy to relate with you. It gets a little bit personalized. It's not just about blank emails. Do this, don't do that. Hey, Vanna, get a little bit personal with people so that even after they receive their email, they can clearly relate with you because you seem to be in the same world with them. And again, after you write your email, you can say maybe kind regards as part of your signature, or warm regards, or thank you. That one is fixed in your signature. So whenever you send out that email, it goes with that information. Remember, we've said that the email should be short, precise, and direct to the message. Don't write a full composition to someone. They'll not even read. Summarize whatever you want to say. Put it in point form and highlight where you want maybe an action point, what you expect, the response you're expecting from them. Put it in point form so that it is easy for someone to understand what exactly you want to say. If it is too long, maybe you are a doctor and a diagnosis went wrong and you feel the need to explain to your patient, this reagent didn't work, we would recommend you seek a referral at this and this hospital or with this and this practitioner because you are found to be having this condition while we were diagnosing you for a different condition, and these are the effects of not such kind of very lengthy information, but it is very crucial to whoever is supposed to receive it. Write it in a letter and attach. Don't send it as an email. One full page. And it's an email. No. If you can't put it in point form, if it exceeds 6 sentences, highlight in point form. Number them or you put bullets. If it's beyond that, then just write a letter and send it as an attachment. You're not supposed to bore whoever is receiving. And as they receive the message, they're not supposed to miss out on very important details because you filled your email with a lot of non-issues, very irrelevant stuff. Most organizations have a domain. So you'll find if I'm employed in, let's say, American British, or we can use Genster as the company. Yeah, by the way, Genster it's a big house. You see, it's a YouTube channel. So if I have my employees, I'll give them names like mugure@gensta.com. So Gensta is the domain, or at safaricom.co.ke. That safaricom.co.ke is the domain. You only have access to those emails as long as you are an employee of that organization. Sometimes shit happens and you stopped working immediately because auditors detected something and you're supposed to be investigated or audited. So we need to give you a temporary leave as we peruse through your emails to see who are involved in this malicious deal. And in that process, people who've been bribed can delete some evidence. So my advice to you is anything suspicious, anything not well approved, anything that did not follow protocol, always BCC your personal email so that when the domain, you can't access emails on the domain, you will have a backup. You can be taken to a court of law and you're supposed to defend yourself. And because the employer knows you don't have evidence, then your case is done. You can't sue them back. The case is already won. But when you copy yourself on those sensitive matters, you won't be scared if the worst comes to the worst. You cannot even be dismissed on unfair grounds because you'll have evidence of what you've been doing and what led to whatever happened. So, personal emails, very important. You are only accessing that domain as long as you are an employee of that organization. And I don't even advise people to keep on putting their work emails on your mobile phone. For what purpose? Emails are supposed to be dealt with at work. Not when you are in your weekend, you see an email pop up on the phone. Unless it's a personal email for a job interview or for a LinkedIn update. I don't advocate for people putting their emails on mobile phones. Job ibaki job. Okay? I really hope you've enjoyed watching the video as I enjoyed creating it. I also hope it's impactful and it will help you improve on where maybe you've been lagging behind. And let's be better at work. Always remember, email is an evidence that a transaction occurred. It should be short, it should be precise, it should be direct to the message. You should not respond to all. It should have a clear subject. You should label your attachment and all other things that I've spoke about. I really appreciate taking your time to watch what I post. God bless you abundantly. Please like the video, give me a thumbs up. And for anyone who is on that career journey or someone who is joining the corporate world, let no one take advantage of you by giving you verbal instructions. Always ensure something is written. Until next time, adios. Mwah. Love you people, especially the Premier Gang.